on our special episode for pre-Halloween special. Strikers, our feature story is about demon. Are they real or just a folklore? Let's find out. A demon is a supernatural being, typically associated with evil, prevalent historically in religion, occultism, literature, fiction, mythology, and folklore, as well as in media such as comics, video games, movies, anime, and television series. Demon, god, godlike, power, fate originally referred to a lesser deity or guiding spirit such as the daimons of ancient Greek religion and mythology and of later Hellenistic religion and philosophy. The word is derived from Proto-Indo-European daimon, provider, divider, of fortunes or destinies. From the root dia to divide, demons were possibly seen as the souls of men of the Golden Age acting as tutelary deities, according to entry at Liddell and Scott. See also demonic, a religious, philosophical, literary and psychological concept. Daimons are lesser divinities or spirits, often personifications of abstract concepts, beings of the same nature as both mortals and deities, similar to ghosts, chthonic heroes, spirit guides, forces of nature, or the deities themselves. According to Hesiod's myth, great and powerful figures were to be honored after death as a demon. A demon is not so much a type of quasi-divine being, according to Burkett, but rather a non-personified peculiar mode of their activity. Citation needed. In Hesiod's Theogony, Phaeton becomes an incorporeal daimon or a divine spirit, but, for example, the ills released by Pandora are deadly deities, ears, not daimons. 6. From Hesiod also, the people of the Golden Age were transformed into daimons by the will of Zeus, to serve mortals benevolently as their guardian spirits. Good beings who dispense riches. They remain invisible, known only by their acts. The demons of venerated heroes were localized by the construction of shrines, so as not to wander restlessly, and were believed to confer protection and good fortune on those offering their respects. One tradition of Greek thought, which found agreement in the mind of Plato, was of a daimon which existed within a person from their birth, and that each individual was obtained by a singular daimon prior to their birth by way of lot. 6. In the Old Testament, evil spirits appear in the Book of Judges and in Kings. In the Septuagint, made for the Greek-speaking Jews of Alexandria, the Greek angelos, messenger, translates the Hebrew word malach, while daimonian, pl. daimonia, which carries the meaning of a natural spirit that is less than divine, translates the Hebrew word shedim as well as the word serim in some verses and words for idols, foreign deities, and describes the being as modus in the Book of Tobit. The use of demons in the New Testament's original Greek text caused the Greek word to be applied to the Judeo-Christian concept of an evil spirit by the early 2nd century AD. According to some societies, all the affairs of the universe are supposed to be under the control of spirits, each ruling a certain element or even object, and themselves in subjection to a greater spirit. For example, the Inuit are said to believe in spirits of the sea, earth and sky, the winds, the clouds and everything in nature. Every cove of the seashore, every point, every island and prominent rock has its guardian spirit. All are potentially of the malignant type, to be propitiated by an appeal to knowledge of the supernatural. Traditional Korean belief posits countless demons inhabit the natural world. They fill household objects and are present in all locations. By the thousands they accompany travelers, seeking them out from their places in the elements. Greek philosophers such as Porphyry, who claimed influence from Platonism, and the fathers of the Christian Church, held that the world was pervaded with spirits. the latter of whom advanced the belief that demons received the worship directed at pagan gods. Demons are generally classified as spirits which are believed to enter into relations with the human race. As such, the term includes 1. Angels in the Christian; 2. Tradition that fell from grace; 3. Malevolent genii or familiars; 4. Such as receive occult; 5. Ghosts or other malevolent revenants; excluded are souls conceived as inhabiting another world. Yet just as gods are not necessarily spiritual, demons may also be regarded as corporeal. Vampires, for example, are sometimes described as human heads with appended entrails, which issue from the tomb to attack the living during the night watches. The so-called spectre huntsman of the Malay Peninsula is said to be a man who scours the firmament with his dogs, vainly seeking for what he could not find on earth, a buck, mouse deer pregnant with male offspring, but he seems to be a living man. There is no statement that he ever died, nor yet that he is a spirit. The incubi and succubi of the Middle Ages are sometimes regarded as spiritual beings, but they were held to give proof of their bodily existence, such as offspring, though often deformed belief in demons goes back many millennia. The Zoroastrian faith teaches that there are 3,333 demons, some with specific dark responsibilities such as war, starvation, sickness, etc. The ancient Mesopotamians believed that the underworld, Ka, was home to many demons which are sometimes referred to as offspring of Arali. These demons could sometimes leave the underworld and terrorize mortals on earth. One class of demons that were believed to reside in their underworld were known as Gala. Their primary purpose appears to have been to drag. Many theologians take angels and demons seriously. Why? Certainly, most human beings believe in angels and demons. Anecdotal cases are legion. Certainly, such non-physical beings, in one form or another, populate most of the world's religions. But angels and demons seem out of place, anachronistic, in our modern world. Is there anything here we should take seriously? Demons were considered to be angels who had been cast out of heaven for defying God. Each demon was associated with specific acts and sins, and each was connected to a saint in heaven whose actions could override that of the demon. During the 16th and 17th centuries, demonologists developed a complex hierarchy of demons in order to enable exorcists to identify demons and call upon the correct saint to drive the demons out of the possessed. As demons were thought to be fallen angels, their system of hierarchy mimicked that used to categorize angels. The seraphim was the highest order of angels. Fallen angels who became demons from this order included Lucifer, whose rebellion against God caused him and his followers to be cast from heaven; Gile, emperor of hell, ranked above Satan, often appeared in the form of a beautiful child; Beelzebub, prince of the seraphim and next to Lucifer; Michaelis, reigned over the witches; Sabbat, appeared in the form of a giant fly; Asmodeus, he burns with a desire to tempt men with his swine of luxuriousness, and is the prince of wantons; Michaelis prevented married couples from having intercourse, destroyed new marriages, forced husbands to commit adultery. Many theologians take angels and demons seriously. Why? Certainly, most human beings believe in angels and demons. Certainly, such non-physical beings, in one form or another, populate most of the world's religions. Whoever believes in the existence of God must explain the presence of evil. To theists, it's the problem of evil, which they struggle to resolve. To atheists, it's the argument from evil, which they wield like a sword. Moreover, if God is all-powerful and all-knowing, how could God not have created evil? Did God create evil? The short answer is, yes. But that needs some unpacking. If God is the creator, then God is ultimately responsible for evil. God created a universe where evil can exist. So, their usual counterargument against God is that if God is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-benevolent, then how could God allow evil? The standard answer is that there must be mitigating factors. I think this is right, but what mitigating factors? A common approach in Christianity is that God wanted free creatures who could potentially rebel against God's benign wishes. In my view, this isn't adequate because it only addresses human evil. What about natural evil, which has accounted for horrific destruction? Often the answers to that issue are contrivances that can border on the absurd. So, what could possibly be a reasonable mitigating factor? I think the answer is life itself. What is life? One way to characterize it is constrained being. Life occurs because of the regularities we see. Those regularities impose constraints within which life can exist. The fine-tuning of the universe suggests that there are certain features of a universe that make life possible. So what do we see with those constraints? We see creation and destruction, the complementary yin-yang at work at the fundamental levels of reality. The very same forces that are operating in the universe both create and destroy. Growth is about destroying the old and creating the new. So what does this have to do with evil? What it means, I think, is that the very same fundamental aspects of reality that create the good also create the evil. Strip away the potential for evil, and you lose the potential for good. Life is an interplay of those complementary parts of the whole. No evil, no good. The question is, then, is having life worth the presence of evil? I think most people would say a resounding yes. Another mitigating factor that is grounded in a particular ontology addresses the question of who suffers the evil. In dualistic ontologies, God is, in some sense, separate from our reality. So while God may see the suffering and feel it, God is not the one who directly suffers the effects of evil. In monistic ontologies it's different story. I call my ontology an aspect monism. It's similar to Vishishtadvaita Vedanta's qualified monism. Essentially it says that everything is an aspect of God.